Now, this is the GO that talked in 2016 about that committee, and from 6 years we are waiting for this report. And who are the members of this committee? It is the Chief Secretary of Irrigation, and then Chief Secretary of MOUD, and then not MOUD, I think Prince Panchayat Raj, and then the Managing Director of the Water Board. Okay, English అయితే అందరికి పర్లేదు కదా? That's why I'm going in English. తెలుగు అందరికి అర్థమవుతుంది కదా? Okay, no problem, na? So this is the committee. Now we are questioning the very competence of this committee, because they are the three servants of the Chief Minister. What is the report that we are expecting from them? They are supposed to study the huge two reservoirs and which hold more than 10 TMCFT of water, of drinking water, and they nourish a forest. And with this due importance, what is the competency of these three IAS bureaucrats to study? Where are the hydrologists? Where are the geologists? Why the organizations such as NGRI, NEERI, the IICT? Where are all these? Where is the EPTRI? Where are the champions in the city? Our city is not shortage of any champions. Where are the people of high integrity? Why they are not invited? So we need all these people to be involved in a committee, and this is by no means at all. Now coming to the other fraud part of this committee. 2016, this is formed because of this NGT case in, now point number 1 is over. Point number 2, the NGT case. This committee came because of the NGT case which was filed in 2016. And in 2018, this very government, the NGT gave the names of 2 professors. That is some Panduranga Reddy and another person. We do not know what happened to that report. Immediately government came up and told that no, we are trying to have a report by these 3 bureaucrats. And the NGT agreed. And at the same time told that they suggested 2 professors' names and told that you take, if possible, the assistance of these 2 professors. But now, we do not know what happened to those first 2 professors which the NGT proposed, which were from the Department of Hydrology. They were very equipped actually. We do not know. Government is talking only about these 3 servants, bureaucrats report, and we do not even know the 2 professors, the hydrologists and the geologists and the lake experts, whom the NGT themselves have suggested. We do not know what happened to those 2 also. Government is repeatedly telling, even in the assembly, that we are now concerned with this 3 committee report, and preemptively the government first told that we are cancelling the GO 111, then told that yes, the committee will give the same report. Okay, now I have even clarified to you all the committee, the competence, and also the fraudulence in it. What is the fraud? That there are so many hydrologists suggested by the NGT and told by the government also, but we are not hearing about all those hydrologists and the geologists. It's just about these 3 people that they are talking about, these 3 people's report. So mind you all, we are in a danger. Why we are in a danger? If everything was correct, if everything was going as per the rule of law and as per common sense and science, then why are you not making it open and public? Even today this GO is not in the public domain, my dear friends. Even today it is not there. We got it because of the NGT, because they had to give it in the NGT. So here the problem is, when you hide something, there is something fishy. Yes or no? From chinna pillal kuda cheptanu daastuna ante edo undi akkada, edo undi, edo same ikkada man nu daastuna ante edo undi. आप छुपा रहे हैं वही है पूरा गड़बड़. So that is another point that I have clarified to you all. And now coming to the floods point of view. When the floods point of view is something that the government is not at all talking about. See, before even telling about the floods, there is another point also, but let me stick to this. 2020 and 2021 we saw the huge flood waters. Now we have to understand one point. This map will help you all understand that. See, this map is small, it's a color, it is from the water board. See, whatever I am telling, it is not at all from Lubna. Everywhere, every inch, every point I am quoting you all from the government. Okay, not from me. This map is from the water board website. And this was during Save Gandipet in 2016, when C.V. Anand Garu, who is the present Hyderabad Commissioner, he was the Hyderabad Commissioner at that time. And he took up this project of Save Gandipet. And he had invited us, all, especially at that time I was the sole convener, and he invited, and Dr. Babu Rao Garu was there at that time, Dr. Jeevanand Reddy Garu was there, and he wanted our approval. He wanted our approval for the Save Gandipet project. Now 2 points here is that in this map itself, official map itself, this is a water board map. In this map itself, they are talking about the encroachments. They are telling there are encroachments inside the reservoir. See, please, this is not my map. This is not what I am telling. The government is telling in 2016-17 that all this reservoir is having encroachments inside. And they are telling there are all some cultivations, there are compound walls, there are constructions, everything they are telling. But today, government is not talking about those constructions. In spite of people like us, innocent people like us, all who are repeatedly telling that Oro Sports is inside, everything is known to the government. But they are not talking about the encroachments inside the reservoir. They are not talking about any illegal, all the illegal constructions that are there in the catchment area. Okay, so we have to understand that point, that now it is nothing about all that, but it is just about that I want to remove the GO111 because I have many people of mine have purchased the real estate or whatever. I am not going to get into that. I want the government to answer about all that, and how we get the government to answer is a very important point, because they themselves are told there are encroachments right inside. Okay, now I am going to come to another point, that even with even with the minimum illegal constructions over there, that means what I am telling is there is maximum percolation right now. You understand? See, this map will tell you the this is the Osman Sagar, Himmat Sagar, and we are getting all the from Vikarabad, Anantagiri Hills, where the water is coming, the flow is coming down. So this is the natural system from Anantagiri Hills. It flows by gravity into these two reservoirs. And these two reservoirs, 11, 12 gates were lifted in 2020 and 21. We all know that. So now, with maximum percolation also, there was so much of flood water. Now, imagine if the GO111 is going, the entire area will be concretized. Where will the water percolate? Who will hold all that water? Because the concretization will increase the flood waters. Just as it happened in the entire high-tech city, because the concretization, the water could not go into the lakes and it did not, so it flooded everywhere. Same thing is going to happen over there. Who will control all those flood waters? Can you imagine how many TMCFT means 1,000 millions of cubic feet, numerous thousands of millions of cubic feet of water was allowed to flow. So much so that all the illegal roads that were there in the Musi Nadi were all inundated in October 2020 and 2021. So now when you further concretize it and you are not bothered about to remove the encroachments from the FTL area of the Usman Sagar and Himmat Sagar, where will all the water go? And as rightly so many reasons pointed out, how would your groundwater be recharged if you are not going to allow the water to percolate? And what about the Mrugwadi forest that is there in between? See, just imagine, when this is the whole ORR, and in the southwest of the ORR, when you look there, you have two beautiful reservoirs, lakes, Usman Sagar, Himmat Sagar, twin reservoirs, holding the water. When there are floods, they are saving you. When there is no rain, they are giving you water. Even to this moment as I am talking to you all, water by gravity is flowing from the Usman Sagar to the Asif Nagar filter beds. From Himmat Sagar, it is flowing to the Mir Alam filter beds. And by gravity, they are filtering there, and that time I will read from the documents. The best of those times of water filters were used at that time. Patterson Company, I got it from your document. And that has been used at that time. It was a bust in the world at that time. Those are functional to this date. Okay, so now calling redundant to such a system, this entire system that you are having set up, and this system is somebody, your own chief minister is calling it redundant. What do we tell? What do we tell? How malified the intention should be at the time? So that is one thing. Now coming down to the 1.32 lakh acres that this is talking about, there are two critical points here now. What is the land use? What is the present land use as? He has the chief minister given as a study report. Okay? Because he's already told that he wants to do away with GO111. What is the land use? How much is the encroachment? How many concrete constructions are there? How much of sewage is being generated over there? What are the all illegalities? Because Rajat Saini Garu, who is again, I have the report also with me, I have brought it also, just to show it to you all. Counter affidavit filed by Rajat Saini Garu, the joint Rangareddy collector. He gave the list of more than 20,000 illegal structures that have come up in the catchment area of Usman Sagar and Himmat Sagar, matlab in the GO111. What is he going to do with those? So is it a regularization of the irregular constructions, that is when you remove the GO111, as Captain Ramarao is telling us? Isn't that what he's going to? Then in that case, that has to be told openly. He can't just dodge around all these questions. He has the responsibility to answer all these questions. Now, coming down this land use, now I have a very serious point here. The MoUT ministry, the government has always been telling everywhere that they are having some concept of transfer development rights. Nowadays they are not, Babragar Mirdi Vinuntaru. Ee Madhyana, wherever they are going to acquire a land, they are not paying them, they are not acquiring by paying them the amount. Mana Srinivas Gariki the ardhame untadi. They are instead, they are telling that transfer development rights means they are giving them land somewhere else. And they are not paying. I hope many of you all must. Yes, it's a bond.
They can sell anywhere.
Yes. So what I'm telling is now, when the government is doing all this everywhere to have their right of way for flyovers, for whatnot, for metros, for everything, we are going to tell them only one thing. Ee 1.32 lakhs itaithe undo, meer kuda cheppinattu, the people, if they are how many people are doing agriculture there? How many people have actually constructed the compound walls over there in anticipation of reaping crores over there? Bear the list. Please put the list in the public domain. You cannot play around by simply telling people want development, people want development. Where are the Panchayat Raj resolutions? Where are the resolutions from the villages? And what about the water authorities over there? Has these been discussed in every mandal and every village and district water authorities over there? No, there is no report. Where is the land use report? There is no report. Where are the resolutions? No resolutions. How many people are doing agriculture? How many people have constructed compound walls? How many people have constructed colleges over there? Where is the list? There is no list. How many farmhouses? Where Pragati resorts? Where is it? What sort of illegality it is? There is nothing of, there is no report. Whatever. We want that report to be bare for two reasons. One thing is, when you are talking that all the rights can be given to you, we are telling a simple thing. There are so many Kaulu Raitulu in the entire Telangana, yes or no, who do not have land but who love to do cultivation, right? So we are telling, if people over there are not interested to do any cultivation, you give them transfer development rights, you tell them, you transfer them somewhere else, but you can give these people who are interested in cultivation, you can give this land to them. Why should it only go to somebody who wants to construct a high rise there? Why should it not remain the agricultural land especially in light of the existential threat being told by the IPCC? So to retain that, you cannot tell that nobody wants to do that. There are many people who want to do agriculture. Give them that agricultural rights over there to all the Dalits. So that whom you told 3 acres, to all the poor, to all the everybody. I am not telling just Dalits, to all the poor who want to do, give them those. They are very fond of agriculture. So you can't tell that people want development and all people want arrest. All people do not want arrest. You can establish your facts. Facts are not established is the main point over there. So this is one of the chief recommendations we are giving to the Chief Minister. Now drinking water, I have already told you all, every day to this minute also the waters are being pumped here, so you can't talk about that. Now other thing is that the groundwaters to be recharged, the lakes are the main holders of water that will recharge. So there is no question about that. It is doing a huge job of that. And it is also nourishing the Brugmadi forest. So when all these functions, 7 to 8 critical functions, and also the cooling of the temperature is something that the water bodies do a lot. So in light of all these critical 6 functions that we are stating, on what basis is the Chief Minister declaring on the floor of the Assembly that they are redundant? Is our question. We want him to answer that. We want him to clarify that. He can't get away with telling all these things. Now, coming now to the other main points that I want to, there are some critical documents, just 2 minutes I am taking for that. See, in the report on the administration of His Highness the Nizam's dominions for the year 1322, firstly, 6th October 1912 to 5th October 1913, published by order of government, Hyderabad Deccan, printed by A.V. Pillai and Sons at Gladstone Press. This is an official report of the Nizam government. Now, the importance of this is this. Section 4, Public Works Department, item number 199. The Mr. M, it forms part of the project prepared by Mr. Visveswaraya, BA, LCI, CIE, these are his honorable degrees, now Diwan of Mysore, after Musi flood of 1317 firstly, which devastated city of Hyderabad with double objective. The double objective of the Isman Sagar and Ismail Sagar is the protecting the city from floods and supplying water to Hyderabad and Secunderabad. The total cost of the project is estimated around 49 lakhs, including compensation for the land. So there is no claiming over the land. It is totally been compensated. Compensated means it is now in whose domain? Government's domain. It is all government's land. So who is constructing in all that area? So which effectively means that all those people who are now encroached into the reservoir are all government land encroachers. Okay, so the Nizam has made it so secure at that time. Now, there's another important point, very critical point also. I am trying to actually rush through. Was constructed. Okay. Again in 1921-22, item number 46, it has been informed the Osman Sagar Lake was constructed with the double object of preventing floods in the Musi and furnishing a copious supply of potable water to Hyderabad and Secunderabad. The foundation of this was laid by His Exalted Highness on 22 March 1913, and the work of construction, the masonry dam, 4,500 feet long across the Musi at a place 8.5 miles from Hyderabad city was completed in 1918. This is all from the official records that I am reading. Now comes another critical point. They tell that the water spread is around 14.5 square miles, which comes up to 9,280 acres and a capacity of 10,768 million cubic feet. Okay, which means around 10.8 TMCFT, 1000 million cubic feet. Now I want to draw you people's attention to one very important point. See, this is the map that we got under RTI, and you are seeing the map is actually by the Hyderabad Water Board itself. It's not even a private agency. It's a central design cell of the Hyderabad. Now the original document, the original official document tells us that it is 9,280 acres. The water spread is 9,280 acres. Now I draw your attention, and if the cameras want, they can zoom in. This is the official document. Please see what is the acres over there. Please see the acres over there. The acres over there is just written as 6,335 acres. Here the official document tells that it is 9,280 acres, but the official documents tells that it is about 6,335 acres. Now, coming down to the holding capacity. The holding capacity they tell is 10.8 million cubic feet, but the official map tells that it is only about 4 million cubic feet. It says only 4 TMCFT. So what happened? What happened to the remaining area? Why there are differences in this? So we want everything to be bare before the public. That what was created at that time and where are we rushing to, and who is it that is hurrying up for them to actually pull off the GO 111 and then ignore totally, ignore the flood part of it, ignore the we ignore the flood part of it and only talk about the drinking water part of it, and tell now that yes, I am getting it to you from क्या बोले थे, कौन सा डैम बोले थे, Mallanna Sagar. Yes, thank you. Mallanna Sagar Dam. Mallanna Sagar Dam. Reservoir. Sorry. Mallanna Sagar Reservoir is around 94.6 kilometers from here. Around 100 kilometers. Okay. Now we are telling only one thing. When you say that you want us to be dependent on some water coming from somewhere, what are you actually telling? As rightly pointed out by our scientist Garu, it is not about just giving some water for drinking, right? It is about the Nityavasaralu. It is about the daily needs, the daily basic fundamental needs. Where will you get all that water from? It has to come from the ground. And that ground water will come only from the lakes which will recharge the ground aquifers, and nowhere else. There is no other system. We are not manufacturing water, please. So this is the peril in which we are. Manam andaram oka danger lo unnam. Adi gurtu pettali manam. What I am trying to drive the point is we are in a danger. Now we are actually telling the government, if it is about the agriculture, there are many people who want to do agriculture. They can do it. The organic farming needs to be done. It's not that they can. It needs to be done. As scientist Garu again pointed out, it is about getting our necessities from the vicinity. ఎంత దగ్గర నుంచి మనం తీసుకుంటే అంత మనకి మంచిది, అది సస్టైనబుల్. మీరు దూరం నుంచి తీసుకొస్తే వాట్ అబౌట్ ద సస్టైనబిలిటీ పార్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్? రేపు ఇది నౌ టేక్ ద సైంటిఫిక్ రిపోర్ట్స్. నౌ వి విల్ డిస్కస్ ద సైంటిఫిక్ రిపోర్ట్స్ క్రిటికల్లీ. వాట్ ఈస్ ద సైంటిఫిక్ రిపోర్ట్? Did not the scientific report tell that the intensity of the rain will increase and the frequency is going to increase, and the period of the train is going to decrease. Is this not told by the scientists? How are we prepared for it? How are we prepared better than 2025? You please submit us that report. That is very necessary than thinking about Geo 111 at all. Now that is one point. Now another one point. This IPCC report has told that you have to keep increasing the aqua spaces. Aqua spaces was what? The blue spaces, the water spaces. Because the huge temperature sinks. How can we survive? How can we survive without that? I can survive without an Audi or Benz or anything, but I can't survive without this basic need of a cool temperature that will keep our minds and bodies cool. Let me please tell you all, the scientific report is so stark. వాళ్ళు ఏం చెప్పినారంటే అసలు that the cognitive abilities and the reproductive abilities are going for a, they're just vanishing. They're taking a hit just because of the pollution. Who will keep these carbon sinks for us? The heat sinks are the Hussain Sagar and the Usman Sagar and the Himayat Sagar, and the carbon sink is the Murugawadi forest. How can all this be preserved? If you just think about removing Geo 111 and tell one simple reason with a simple baseless reason, an unscientific and non-commonsensical reason that you want drinking water, right? I am getting it to you from Krishna. Drink that water. Why are you asking for this water? Is this the way I expect from a Chief Minister of Telangana? Without sense, without science. So what we are trying to tell is, apart from the IPCC report, now other point. When it's repeatedly telling about the Krishna waters, what we have to understand is that Krishna, even Rajendra Singh, the waterman, who is called the waterman, he has surveyed all the rivers. Chudandi, Krishna Nadi is going narrow by the day. Roju Rojiki it is going narrow. Roju Rojiki it is getting more polluted. What is the sustainability of getting Krishna waters? We are telling the government one thing. You reduce the dependency of the city on the Krishna and Godavari waters. Show us the action plan. Maku action plan chupinchandi. Em action plan kavala maku? How you are going to reduce the dependency year by year by year? Because we were a city of surplus water. Our Hussain Sagar was drinking water. Our Miralam was drinking water. Every other lake was a drinking water and potable water, swimmable water, fishable water. How we are decreasing day by day? We want to see the action plan of this government on reducing the dependency of bringing water from abroad అంటున్నాం మేము. ఆ పరాయి దగ్గర నుంచి మాకెందుకు నీళ్ళు ఇస్తున్నారు? Show us the scale down the dependency. We are asking for that action plan, and here he is showing us that we are getting 40 TMC. No, show us the action plan where the city will be self-sufficient. हमको हमारे घुटने के बल मत रखो. మా మోకాళ్ళ మీదకి తీసుకురాకండి. మాకు మంచి నీళ్ళ కోసం, ఏ నీళ్ళ కోసం, తాగునీటి కానీ ఏ నీటి కానీ మాకు మంచి మోకాళ్ళ మీద తీసుకొస్తున్నారు మీరు. మాకు మా స్వతహాగా ఉండనివ్వండి. దాని తర్వాత ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఇంకెవరికైనా నీళ్ళు కావాలంటే ఇచ్చేటట్టు నీళ్ళు ఇస్తున్నాడు భగవంతుడు మనకి. దాన్ని స్టోరేజ్ చేసడానికి మంచి లేక్స్ ఉండాలా, ఎంక్రోచ్మెంట్ చేయాలా, ఛానల్స్ మంచిగా చేయాలా, ఇవన్నీ ఆలోచించండి మీరు. అండ్ డోంట్ మేక్ us dependent on the foreign water. Now apart from this, now there is another point I want to tell, and I also want to show you these are the list of violations officially given to us. మా అందరికి official గా ఇచ్చిన డాక్యుమెంట్స్ ఇవి. ఏంటి ఇవన్నీ? లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ the encroachments right inside the reservoir and just abutting the reservoir. I am not talking about the catchment area. Look at the peril, and they are not silent about this. They are not talking about this. So we have to raise. Do you see a need that we have to raise a voice in that? Now coming back to this Save Gandipet, where they themselves have told all this about the encroachments, I want to alert you all that when the Save Gandipet project was taken up, many funds had come from the NRI. It was open. It was there under Mission Kakatiya. It was taken, and many people out of Telangana Abhimanamto చాలా మంది చాలా డబ్బులు డొనేట్ చేస్తున్నారు సేవ్ గండిపేట్ కోసం. ఏమైంది? Where is this audit about it? Nobody knows. Okay, suddenly we have and they were telling at that time they wanted our endorsement for one thing. They said we want to construct a what is that in the official document it is written we want to remove all the encroachments inside and around. What happened? Oro Sports, just in 2020 I went there. The Oro Sports is still there. Oro Sports is there even in this marked as an encroachment in this map also. What happened? We are not talking about all that. Oro Sports, it is still there. Okay, so now what I am telling is that you have mentioned that you want to remove the encroachments. You have not done that. So it is very necessary that you talk about removing all the encroachments inside the Usman Sagar, Himayat Sagar, and you clarify to us ki why in the Nizam's official document it is written that it is 10 TMCFT and why you are telling it is only 4 or 5 TMC. You have to tell us that why it is 9,000, more than 9,000 acres of Usman Sagar in the official document, and why in the document given by the department under the RTI, both it has been given to me under RTI, and in 2013 it has been given to my colleagues Chakri and Jasween. In all those it is showing only as 6,000 acres. And also between these two maps they have again cut down 300 more acres. Let me tell you, I have brought it to the High Court's notice also. So this is not tenable. Idi Kadu Paddhati, and we are not going to bow down to this. And Chief Minister has to take cognizance of every demand that we are raising from here. It is not just this our group that is here. Many people in the city are against this move by the government, and we are going to ensure that this entire system that we have from Anantagiri Hills flowing to the reservoirs, nourishing those two lakes of Usman Sagar, Himayat Sagar, and then flowing back through these raw water pipe channels, and then flood water again going separately. ये व्यवस्था మేము పోగొట్టుకోవడానికి మేము సిద్ధంగా లేము, మాకు ఆలోచన కూడా రావట్లేదు. కాబట్టి మీరు కూడా ఆలోచనని మీరు తొలగించాలా. మీరు అసెంబ్లీలో చెప్పినటువంటి ఆ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ అసత్యాలు అవన్నీ మీరు ఎక్స్పంజ్ చేయాలని చెప్పి ఆల్రెడీ స్పీకర్ గారికి చెప్పడం జరిగింది. సో ఇన్ లైట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ దీస్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ that are given, I have substantiated everything that I have told with all this, and I am asking the Chief Minister and the government of Telangana and that committee. The committee has to be scrapped in light of its incompetency, and we are telling them we have substantiated every argument that we have told. Now it's your turn to substantiate whatever you are talking, and you drop down this idea and then come to us with some solid science and sense. Now this is open for questions now. Anybody can give their opinions, questions, everything is welcome. Everything that I have stated here now, at this moment, take the copies of everything that I have kept here. ఈ లోపల ఉన్న ఎంక్రోచ్మెంట్స్, పక్కన ఉన్న ఎంక్రోచ్మెంట్స్ అని నాకు ఎవరు చెప్పారు? ఇది నాది కాదు, ఇది నాది కాదు, గవర్నమెంట్ చెప్పింది. అది కాకుండా రజత్ సేని గారి రిపోర్ట్ నా దగ్గర ఇప్పుడు ఉంది. వన్ సెకండ్, రజత్ సేని గారి రిపోర్ట్. రజత్ సేని ఎవరు? Joint collector. You know to whom he told? He told the NGT, National Grid Tribunal, he gave a list after surveying. You know who surveyed? All the MROs and all the irrigation officials. You know what they told? That all these are illegal structures. ఎవరన్నా ఇది నేను చెప్పానా? వాళ్ళు గవర్నమెంట్ చెప్పిందా ఇల్లీగల్ స్ట్రక్చర్?
ఎవరు చెప్పారంటలేదు. ఒకవేళ ఈ 3 పాయింట్స్ కి గవర్నమెంట్ ఆల్టర్నేట్ సొల్యూషన్ ఇస్తే, అండ్ మీరు అన్నట్టే అక్కడ ఎవరైతే ఓనర్షిప్ ఉందో ఫార్మర్స్ అండ్ అదర్ పబ్లిక్ వాళ్ళు కూడా ఒప్పుకుంటే అప్పుడు మీకు ఓకేనా?
What are the problems? I told you in the beginning itself, from the official document, the 3 points. Oh, no problem. And we are expecting everybody. There are 3 points upon which these 2 reservoirs lakes were constructed. I told. What are those 3 points? They are not my points. They are official documents, which even the government of the day has told while telling in the NGT recently. 2016 లో లాంచ్ అయిన కేసు 2018 లో డిస్పోజ్ అయింది కేసు. మీకు తెలుసు కదా, అదే కదా కమిటీ ఫామ్ అయింది. అక్కడ వాళ్ళు ఏమన్నారు? వాళ్ళు కూడా ఫ్లడ్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడారు. అప్పుడు గవర్నమెంట్ చీఫ్ మినిస్టర్ ఇస్ నాట్ స్పీకింగ్, బట్ దే టోల్డ్ నా గవర్నమెంట్ దెమ్సెల్వ్స్ టోల్డ్ అబౌట్ ఫ్లడ్స్. నౌ టెల్ మీ, మీరు రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ అంటున్నారు. దానికి నేను చెప్పినా కాంక్రీటైజ్ అయిపోతే అదే హై ఇంటెన్సిటీ రెయిన్ మళ్ళీ అక్కడికి వస్తుంది, ఇంకా ఎక్కువ ఇంటెన్సిటీ రెయిన్ వస్తుంది. హౌ షుడ్ ఐ channelize all the water? Where should it go? Chappandi, is the government given a study report to you about how it is going to handle all the flood waters?
అంటే ఇది నా ఒపీనియన్ కాదు మ్యామ్, జనరల్లీ
నో ప్రాబ్లం అండి.
కేవీఆర్ అప్పుడేమో నో నేను పర్సనల్ ఏం తీసుకోవట్లేదు. నల్లమల్ల అప్పుడు దెర్ ఇస్ నో ఆల్టర్నేట్ సొల్యూషన్, యూ కెనాట్ షిఫ్ట్ నల్లమల్ల, ఇంకో నల్లమల్లని క్రియేట్ చేయలేము. కేవీఆర్ ని అక్కడి నుంచి మనం రీలొకేట్ చేస్తే అది చేయలేము. కానీ ఉస్మాన్ సాగర్ ని రీలొకేట్ చేయవచ్చు. ఉస్మాన్ సాగర్ ఫార్మర్స్ వాళ్ళు అమ్మాలనుకోవచ్చు. ఇన్ఫ్యాక్ట్ చుట్టుపక్కల ఉన్న గ్రామాలందరూ దాన్ని ఎప్పుడు అమ్మేద్దామని రెడీగా ఉన్నారు. దిస్ ఇస్ జస్ట్ అ డిస్కషన్. ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ ఐ టెల్ 100 people టుమారో సేవ్ 111 నేనైతే మిమ్మల్ని అడుగుతున్నాను, వాళ్ళు నన్ను అడుగుతారు. అది అప్పుడు మనం ఏం చెప్పాలి వాళ్ళకి?
అవునండి, ఇది ఈ పాయింట్ ఎవరు అడ్రస్ చేయాలా? ఈ పాయింట్ గవర్నమెంట్ అడ్రస్ చేయాలా? నో ఐ యామ్ టెల్లింగ్ యూ వన్ థింగ్.
అంటే గవర్నమెంట్ అడ్రస్ చేస్తే మనకు ఓకేనా?
వన్ సెకండ్ అండి, వి ఆర్ టెల్లింగ్ యూ ఆర్ కన్స్ట్రక్టింగ్ రిజర్వాయర్స్ బై ద డే కదా. బై ద డే యూ వాంట్ రిజర్వాయర్స్ నా? వై ఆర్ యూ ఫోర్గోయింగ్ ద ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ రిజర్వాయర్స్?
అదే గవర్నమెంట్ ఒకవేళ అదే అంటే మన పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే వాట్ ఈస్ అవర్ స్టాండ్?
We are asking
50 టీఎంసీ 6800 crores లో ఇంకోటి కట్టేశారు అనుకోండి,
ఎక్కడ కట్టిస్తారు?
ఒకవేళ కడితే మల్లన్న సాగర్ లాగా 50 టీఎంసీ ఇది
లేదండి. బై ద డే మనము COP26 లో ఏం చెప్పాం? Yes, no, what we are telling, and that means we have to go further forward from it. Now one point, at a moment that government is telling we don't have funds properly, will you shut down the existing reservoirs? And what about the ecological life quality of the city that will have a beat when you are going to forego the two huge lakes that are already encroached? As I am pointing out to you, 9,300 acres ekkada, 6,000 acres ekkada, 10 CMTFT ekkada, 4-5 TMCFT ekkada. Already this is illegality has happened. You are not addressing the illegality, and to hide that illegality, you are telling that you are going to give me a reservoir somewhere else. Let it be Ramantapur Cheru or Malkam Cheru or Ambir Cheru in Kukatpalli, ప్రతి చోట చేపలు అమ్ముకునేది అక్కడ నుంచి పట్టి ఆ ఫ్యామిలీకి అది ఒక సరదా అన్నమాట. తండ్రితో రావడం, చేపలు కొనుక్కోవడం, వెళ్ళడం. ఎక్కడ ఉందండి ఆ కల్చర్ ఇప్పుడు? We have lost that culture. So it is not about giving a happiness and creating the well-being index. ओका wellness, ओका happiness, ओका social index को बढ़ाना चाहिए. लोग खुश रहना चाहिए. It is not about that. It is about who will fund me and who will be given the rights to a high rise, and that is defined as a development. Sorry, as Sundarlal Bahuguna has rightly pointed out, the great noble man of our country, environment is development. మన సిపిఎం ఈయన ఉన్నారు ఇక్కడ. ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ ఈజ్ డెవలప్మెంట్ అండ్ ఇకాలజీ ఈజ్ ఎకానమీ. We saw how everything fell flat when ecology and environment were not there with you all. So it's a different equation that we have to altogether argue about how the real estate, and I'll tell you one very critical point. I don't want to miss it again, so I'm telling it right now. The government has to be told one thing. It is telling, Sir Babura garu, ఆయన ప్రభుత్వం ఏమంటుంది ఇప్పుడు మీరు కూడా వినండి. ఆ క్యాచ్మెంట్ ఏరియా మొత్తము ఇప్పుడు వేరే ఇండస్ట్రీస్ ఏమి ఉండకూడదు కదా, పొల్యూటింగ్, నేను అట్లా చెప్పాడు తలొప్పుకుంటా మన ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారు. ఇది పొల్యూటింగ్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్ ఏమి ఉండకూడదు కదా, అక్కడ బిల్డింగ్ కన్స్ట్రక్షన్స్ కి వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చేస్తే వాళ్ళందరికీ లాభం అయిపోతుంది, డెవలప్మెంట్ అయిపోతుంది అన్నారు. అకార్డింగ్ టు ద MOEF గైడ్ లైన్స్, building and construction is categorized as an industry. Please listen to this. There are various categories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has been categorized as an industry under point 8. And MOEF has also issued additional one, that the building and construction industry is not just an industry, but it is the most polluted industry, and it is categorized as red and hazardous. Not my words, the government's words. And do you think it is about the survival of the Mrugwani forest and the Usman Sagar and the Himayat Sagar if you have a most hazardous industry in the catchment area? Don't we know what happened to Hussain Sagar, to Mir Alam, to Bon Hasmat Pet Cheruvu, to the Kukatpalli Amber Cheruvu? Don't we know? Now tell me, my dear friends, are you understanding the peril that we are in? All these things are hidden from the people because the committee will not talk about all this. That's why we are telling the government, scrap your bloody committee, scrap your committee, and listen to what the citizens are telling, because citizens are not speaking from out of any real estate lobbies. They are just speaking from the plain documents that are here. So this is another point, Andy, that it is a red and hazardous industry categorized by the government of India, and which is going to come in the catchment of these two. Is their plan by removing the Geo 111, which should not happen, which will never happen. I guess the BJP MLAs were out, and the Congress people also were not there. They were in the assembly. They were not. But in the numerous panel discussions that I had participated, just for everybody's knowledge, Kodanda Reddy Garu, who is from Congress, he was there in almost every channel, and he was very strongly opposing, because he said, I myself am a farmer, and it is not at all recommended in light of the giving scientific reasons that it should be lifted. And he told, actually he said he would come even today, but I don't know how. I mean, none of the other people are there, political people are there, because I invited every political party. I invited even BJP, let me tell you all, the Congress, the CPI, the CPM, but I do not know if any political party representatives are here.